Hey everyone, I'm Erica Rouse, the weaver of my web, master fryer weaver, whatever you want to use. Asshole bitch, those apply too. I'm here to finally introduce myself. Seen my book and heard my podcast, but not me. And though everything in the book and what I say on the podcast is official, you all need to hear messages when they come at the times they come. So before I get into those, I do want to introduce you to who I am. Like many people, I had a fucked up childhood. Parents, or one parental unit, one sperm donor. And then the one parental unit had severe mental health issues, which we resolved and, forgave each other for the things we did and moved on. We built a relationship for over a decade before she died. So I'm happy with that. Those details are mentioned in the book. It was really bad, but I made it through. And that's why I'm here, because a lot of people are still suffering with those things, those traumatic events from childhood and any time in their life. I'm a very open person, very brash. I am very open yet private, very brash in my communication. Like, I'm straightforward. However it comes out is how it does. It's about the message, not how you're feeling that day. I'm not here for feelings at all. Let's get that out of the way now. No feelings. If you have a problem with me and can't understand the message, it's probably because you're focusing on the wrong thing. But, it is what it is. When I send messages, I need everyone to think subjectively and objectively about those things, so they fully understand the foundation of them, where they come from, and what their understanding is of those things, and how it applies. So I may speak a lot about religious topics, like mentioning God and all of that. It's what most people can relate to, no matter what your denomination is. If you're Christian, Muslim, whatever, you still have belief in a God. So I just bring that up for those, who are devout or just have that belief. For atheists and others who really don't give a shit about anything else, the messages still apply, because you're here and you need to know how you're moving through the world with others in humanity and how you impact humanity. I can, for me to be, and I'll talk about this a lot, for me to be a Leo, I don't really like talking about myself a lot. If I'm asked questions, I'll answer them, but like right now, I can't really just tell you everything about me. The messages will come, and the examples, the anecdotes will come from my life, will come with those messages. I don't know. Like, life is just fucked right now. Everyone is. People are struggling. We can't trust companies, and every day we're seeing different recalls, food recalls, things like that. Like, this shit has been going on for so long, and now it's just out there because we're finally demanding higher standards from people and companies and so forth. If we're giving them our hard-earned money that we don't get to hold on too long. But if these people, companies, and etc. do these things, they need to be called out. If there are companies that are doing bad by their employees, if there's a city that's not taking care of the homeless, whatever, we need to discuss those things, because they come from a low vibrating place. And I'm all about high vibration. All of it. I understand that humanity plays a role in our actions and shit like that. Sometimes we use that shit as a crutch. And it's disgusting. But in those genuine moments when we acted out of emotion or feel a certain way or fear or any of those things, they're human emotions, and we should experience them and feel them. It's not for us to stay in them, though, and that's the biggest part of all of this. A lot of people don't understand that. When you see Shit everywhere. It's okay to be okay, girl. All right, for like 5 minutes, we're gonna move on and continue on about life and moving through it. And in humanity and helping and healing, all of that. We don't have time to be sulking in our own damn emotions about bullshit. And if it's traumatic stuff, it needs to be solved, healed, embraced, loved, and tossed away. Those are lessons. I mean, shit. I'm not still holding on to composition books from when I was in first grade. Like, Jesus Christ. I know how to spell. I don't need that shit anymore. Throw it away. All of these lessons that we get out of our events, our environment, work, whatever, we need to focus on the lesson, not the damn details of the events. Though messages may be in the details, but, in a general sense, we can't hold on to that shit. It's a disservice to us and what we're supposed to be doing here in humanity for each other. Like, one can't be all fucked up inside and then expect to be able to be useful to the rest of the world. We all have to do it. I've gone through decades of pain and suffering and a decade of healing. There's no time frame on any of it. That's just mine. Again, I'm just telling you my shit, but it's relatable. Everything I mentioned, all of the anecdotes, all that shit is for relatability. It's so you understand that shit, everyone is human. I'm human. Nobody's better than the next. But we all can help each other persevere and get out of these habits of just dumbness. Like, shit, it's all stupid. Worrying about bills. Okay, we're gonna die with bills. Them motherfuckers gonna be digging up our graves trying to fucking toss bills in that shit. Like, we're always gonna have that shit. Every month. And people who constantly complain about bills, but every month make their bills, baffles the shit out of me. Stop doing that shit. You're putting the energy out there that you're always broke. You're always broke because you keep saying that you're always broke and putting it out there and feeling that you're always broke. That's what the universe is gonna give you. Duh. Like, shit. I mentioned a very basic thing. 2 plus 2 equating to 4. And I use that in a lot of my messages because we have to go back to basics. We have to clean our plates, our palates, whatever, so that we can move forward and taste the goodness of life. This shit here, we can't keep living. Like the wars and the famine and basically everything that's in Revelations, we Christians out there. All of this shit has been happening for years. It's just coming to a head now. Especially with this battle between the Jews and Muslims. It's an age-old battle, and the grand scheme of it is 2 siblings battling for parents' attention. They're just fucking spoiled children. Judaism and Islam are the oldest religions, belief systems on this planet, structured belief systems, and they have been fighting since time immemorial. To find out who's best, or to be who's best, or they think who's best, and it's just ongoing. But in my view, it's like, they're both fighting holy wars, jihad in Muslim terminology, but it's the same thing. God is looking down at them like, my children. One is trying to outmaneuver, outsmart, and best the other. That's what siblings do. Sibling rivalry is all it is. They both, and Christians too, both of them can come together in peace on the Temple Mount. But when they leave the Temple Mount, it's like fucking kids in a schoolyard, leaving out of class. Like, Jesus Christ, children, get it together. But that's what that is, and it's just ongoing, centuries, millennia in the making. Same old shit, but at the same time, now with this war being what it is, we need to see the truth. The real shit is that we're almost at a point of no return. We keep talking about revelations and wanting to know more and being up with God and whatever the fuck else. But then in the next 10 minutes, doing the same dumb shit that they've been doing the entire time. I don't get that shit. Don't be in church on Sunday after you're shaking your ass on somebody's pole on Saturday night. Like, be real about your shit. You can still do that, but don't be in church. Praise the Lord, God, yes, all this shit, hallelujah, right. You still got a fucking dollar hanging out your damn gutter belt, honey. All that. We don't need that. We need to be real. We need to be doing our work. And that's what we're going to talk about a lot. Work. The internal work that humanity still needs to do. Going to a therapist and medication management. I was actually talking to a good friend about this, but it's a constant subject because a lot of people, I need to get therapy, but they're falling into that medication management trap. Medication is supposed to help you through the process, but not supposed to be a long-term, lifelong thing. And that's where people get fucked up because these things modify the chemical balance in the brain. And if there is already a chemical imbalance because of trauma or whatever, they're giving them medication that's furthering that imbalance. So people don't get right. They get more fucked. That's why there's side effects. These, like almost every one of them has a side effect of suicidal ideations. Every last one. So if you're taking this medication that's supposed to bring you down and all of that shit, but a side effect is actually going to be the thing, but worse. Oh, okay. That's helpful. That's why we have to do the internal work. We always have to do our own fucking work. This isn't new. When you go to work, somebody else work for you. I get it with twins, but in general, do you have somebody go in place of you? Is there like some type of fucking proxy for your employment? Like surgeon, I don't feel like going to work today since I'm a random person. That works. Same thing goes for life. We can't be that way. We can't keep living in this manner. Some hell of an introduction, because I really didn't tell you shit about myself, but this is what happens. The messages come through, things and shit that you all need to hear comes out. So be it. It's what it is. Just know now, I'm not going to do all of the theatrics and shit like that. Yeah, I'll have my, social media shit up there and maybe a little music, but I'm not gonna get all gussied up and shit so I can talk to you bitches. No, we ain't doing that. You're gonna see me as I am. If I'm on a toilet at that moment, you're gonna hear the message right there as I flush. It's just what it is. I'm tired of all that shit. This is what took me so long to come out and start with these videos, because I don't have time to do all of the editing and setting up backgrounds and all that shit. Look, I'm at home sitting in my backyard, and this is where I'm gonna be, or anywhere around it, if that's where I am. If I'm in a store or wherever the fuck, that's where I'm gonna record. Again, the bathroom, get over it. Everybody poops, remember? Humanity, we have to heal. We have to be better to each other. We have to be better to Mother Nature, Gaia. We have to be convicted in those things. We need to be real and pure and heal so we can be the shit. We're the third tribe. This is like a whole third earth situation. We've done this shit before. Why the fuck do you think your governments are coming up with all of this race to space within the past 60, 70 years? Because there's more. There's a lot more. And I'm not going to talk a lot about that. There's a whole hell of a lot more with that. Until I know how you all are going to receive that. Just like, again, those governments have denied other presences in our galaxy, living life forms, until recently, because it's too many people are having these experiences. One or two here, no, it's nothing. A bunch of them, there's a clear indication that there's other life, and has always been. Anyway, I'll put in the captions little notes that I may not mention on here, like the Book of Enoch. You all need to read that. You don't have to be a religious person or believe in the Bible or whatever, but read that damn book. It tells you everything you're supposed to know about the cosmos, where we come from, who we are, who the presences are in the sky. And not everybody can handle that. Probably the main reason it was kept out of the original canon, the books that solidified the King James Version of the Bible. Prior to that, a lot of the books that are in it now were actually in it. But anyway, do your own damn research. That's another thing too. I'm not doing all that shit. I've done all of my fucking research. It's your time. I'm not doing that shit for you. Whatever I say in your question, Google it, bitch. I don't have time for that shit. Can you say that shit? Fuck you. .com. I don't have time for it. So, with all of that said, my loves, I'm going to wrap up this one, and then we'll move into other ones, other videos, and so forth and so on. I'll post what I have, and, you know, put little clips on, maybe TikTok, and my website is going to have the bulk of a lot of things. Access to the podcast notes in full, and so forth and so on. It's very time consuming, and, you know, it's like trying to have someone critique and edit your own artwork. You have to do it yourself. It just doesn't work when anyone else does. So, you know, I have a little bit of help here and there for the technical shit, but a lot of shit, if it's errors and shit like that, it's because I meant to leave it in there. You know? Again, we're not computers. We're not androids. We're not these AI pieces. We're human beings. So I'm going to communicate with you like a fucking human being. Not through technology. You know, like taking my place. We're not doing that whole AI thing. Because that is a huge part of our downfall as a race of humans. But that's also another story for later on. Because the world at large is not ready for a lot of this shit that I'm going to put out there. Especially about religion. I need y'all to know the whole fucking shit has been fabricated and manipulated for a grand purpose that's not of the cosmos. A man-made purpose. A man-justified purpose. Anyway, we're going to change that. If you really want to, the book is supposed to be about the Bible is supposed to be a guidebook for living amongst our brothers and sisters, being good to each other, and so forth and so on. It's become more than that over the centuries because it was forced on people. People were forced to believe in this book. And whoever didn't, of course, we already know the history. They were killed. Jews converted unwillingly so they could save their lives. Same with other cultures and shit like that were forced to be Christians. And that's not their background or basis or how their culture even started. Anyway, we'll talk a lot about that shit, you know. People aren't really ready for that because the one thing that people will rail against any changes or challenges to their beliefs, that's political beliefs. We've already seen the disgustingness that comes from that. But the only thing that gives us meaning and understanding of what life is, the Bible, questioning that and the belief system behind it, people get violent. Hence, these holy wars we're seeing. People are really off their fucking rockers about their beliefs because it's fear. It's all fear. We'll get into that. Sad. Anyway, I'm here to be that straightforward messenger. I'm not going to candy coat any fucking thing. Everything is going to have profanity in it. It does not matter. If you're a holier than thou, one of those shits, then, you know, go elsewhere. I don't have time for that shit. I'm not cleaning up. This is my art. I'm not cleaning it up for you and your feelings. Humanity at large is in need of somebody sticking their foot in their ass. All this cutesy candy, sugary shit. It leaves room for lacks and taking forever to fix this shit. Well, you know, seeing as how shit that was predicted in the same book you people follow is happening now, and y'all still like not getting it. Like, what the fuck? I feel like we're like the slowest version of humanity. This shit is fucking ridiculous, and I don't understand it. I can't understand this level of idiocy that's so generally across the board. Like, we see wars, but we're not doing anything to heal and get right before this shit comes to our soil. Once again, we'll talk about that at length later on. Me, I'm lovable, and I have this sense of humor that a lot of people are like, you're so fucking matter of fact about shit. Yeah. Like, I am one of those people. Like, Like, we have to find humor in everything. Like, too many people are crying, sad, depressed, all of these negative things, but we need to laugh. If you're feeling any kind of way, if you're, feel some self-conscious about your appearance, see if that works for you, Like, girl, I'm fat. I know, me too. Shit. I just had this whole cake last night. Yeah, bitch. I know I got weight problems, but fuck it. It works, Own who you are. And then fix it if you need to fix it. Of course, we already know being overweight is not healthy for the human body, but, be who you are. As long as it's not hurting you or anyone else. Poke fun at it. Whatever your problem is. It's the only way you can get through. Have any kind of joy or happiness. You gotta smile. Great medicine. Unlike weed. That shit is low vibrating. Yes, it relaxes you and all that other shit and helps people open up their creative windows and doors, but shit, it shouldn't be a life fucking journey. Not even the word journey. Let's say it shouldn't be a lifelong aspiration to be a heavy weed smoker. Right. Okay. So, this is the last thing I'll mention too. Again, with my sense of humor, it is what it is. But I have this animated part to my sense of humor, which comes from, if you can't tell, like, I am LGBTQ, A, B, C, D, E, F, fuck, I don't know. Whatever the letters are these days. Anyway, I'm me. So I have this, little lady boy feeling. Somebody called me that one day, little lady boy. Like, my animated side is like, well, honey, because we be doing all this and that and the other. I had that little animation I'll throw in there just to lighten the mood a little bit. Not everything has to be serious, so the message will be, but people tend to gravitate to things that make them feel good. So why not laugh about it a little bit and still get through it and heal together. We can do this together. I love y'all, and I'll be back soon.